Hey everyone, and welcome to the Moxi YouTube channel. My name is Kiana, and today I'm going to be teaching you how to jump on roller skates. This is going to be a very beginner tutorial, so let's get started, and thanks for joining me today. Okay, so first thing is first, you're going to want to wear any gear that's going to make you comfortable. While jumping, you could fall on your knees, on your wrist, and backwards. So it's important to wear whatever you feel comfortable with. Today, I'm going to be wearing my trusty 187 Pro knee pads. And that is what I feel safe and comfortable in, so that's what I'm going to be putting on. One key thing that you want to make sure when you're practicing any sort of flat ground trick is that the place that you're practicing, the ground is flat. You want to make sure you're not practicing at a slant, a downhill, an uphill, etc., because you don't want to have to do more work than you're already putting into this trick. So make sure that where you are practicing is flat. Great places like that are going to be parking lots, maybe your driveway, maybe a park, a tennis court, a basketball court. As long as those places are concrete and they're not really nice, so you're not messing them up when you're skating on them, those are all awesome places to start practicing flat ground tricks at. As far as the place behind me, here, I found a school that has a great sidewalk, and I'm going after the school time, so that way I'm not bothering anyone. But it also has an awesome parking lot too. I just decided to use the sidewalk because it's smoother than the parking lot. But you can utilize whatever you feel most comfortable using. Okay, step number 2 is gonna be your stance. So before we even get to jumping, we wanna make sure our stance is safe and comfortable, and we're just standing in a way that makes us feel balanced. So you want to make sure that your feet are hip distance apart. You want to make sure that they're staggered. So if at any moment you trip, you have a little leverage on one of your feet to catch you. And you want to make sure that you are bent knees. Bent knees are going to help you a lot in this trick. Mainly because when we're bent in our knees, we're not going to fall from very high up because we can squat down. As well as we just have mobility and more movement with bent knees than straight knees. You want to make sure that at least one of your feet are in front of the other, whether that's by a little bit or by a lot. So whatever you feel comfortable, in whatever position that your feet are staggered, this feels really comfortable to me, you can do that. Some people's stance might be bigger, some people's stances might be smaller. It just varies on your body. So hip distance apart, staggered, one foot in front, and this is a great stance that you're going to start with. A great way to tell if the stance is good for you is you want to be able to squat low and squat back up with no problem and no issue. If you're too wide apart and it's not really a squat, you're too close together and you can't really squat, then you want to just make sure you find that right balance. When you're able to squat, then that's a great position for you. As far as what foot you want to put in front and what foot you want to be in back, I'm a switch footer, so I like my right foot in front and I like my right foot in back when I'm going forwards and then backwards. So it really just depends on you. There's no right or wrong way to have your feet when we're doing jumping, and it just really varies on what you're doing. So if you're skating forward, then I would have my lead foot forward in front while I'm about to do a jump. If you're going backwards, you would still have your lead foot forward, or if you're a switch footer like me, you would have your lead foot back. So go ahead and play around with your stance and see what feels most comfortable for you. Now for step 3, we're going to jump. And first we're going to talk about in the way that we're going to jump. So there's 2 different ways that you can jump. One being that you're going to jump off the ground, which makes your feet straight, which is what we don't really want. But it's not wrong, it's just not what we quite want. And then there's another way where you tuck your knees into your chest, and that's the way that we do want. And for a few different reasons. So if we're straight-legged, which I'll show you in just a second, basically we're pushing off the ground with a lot of force to have to jump, and our toes are going to be pointed down. And we don't really want our toes pointed down because we want them to land flat when we come back. And if they're pointed straight up, then we have to do a little bit of movement in our feet and our ankles to have to bring them down flat. What we want to do is bring our knees to our chest instead of jumping really hard off of the ground. And by just tucking our knees into your chest, that's going to be the height of our jump. So there are a few different things that can extend the height of our jump, but when we're on flat ground, we want to keep our knees tucked in and with that, our feet will also be flat when we tuck our knees in as well. So I'm gonna show you what that looks like. This is what we don't want. And instead, this is what we do want. Notice how when I jump without tucking my knees into my chest, my feet go straight like this. But notice how when I jump with my knees tucked in, my feet stay flat. So when you're practicing a jump, you absolutely do not need to go that high. So you can totally go smaller than that. But what we want to do for the motion is bring our knees to our chest. So again, we don't want to push off of the ground. We want to just simply bring our knees into our chest. The fourth thing that we want to do while we're landing when we are jumping is we want to absorb the impact. So what that means is we want to squat down low into our landing. So essentially what that means is that every time when we land, we want to squat down low so that way we're absorbing the impact and then we're also landing balanced. So I'll show you what that looks like. Try to make it fun. Try to make it a game. Try to see how quiet you can get your landing. If you're able to get your landing super quiet, then that means you're able to absorb the impact and land with a very nice and solid squat. I'll switch my feet for anyone that likes to have their left foot in front. A couple tips for when you're jumping is that you can keep your arms out to keep you stable. You can keep them out in front of you like this to make sure that if you were to fall, you're gonna go forward because there's more weight in front. You can also keep them out to the side like this. It just really depends on where you need extra balance, but normally you'll find that you'll keep them out in front. Now you can take these steps and you can roll with them however you'd like. You can roll and do jumps. You can utilize this technique of jumping so you can do rotations and many more. So let me just show you some examples of some jumps that you can do. Thanks so much for watching this video on how to jump on roller skates on the Moxi YouTube channel. I hope that you enjoyed them. Go ahead and leave comments down below. Maybe if I missed anything, if you have any tips on how to jump better, or if you want to see me do a certain tutorial next. I really appreciate you all for watching and I hope that you gained something out of this video. And if you want to support me or any of the Moxi crew here, go ahead and like this video, comment down below, and subscribe so that way we know that you enjoy our videos. Also, if you want to be notified on the next time I make a tutorial on the Moxi YouTube channel, go ahead and click the notification button so you'll never miss out on another video. You can also go to moxiskates.com and purchase any of our merch as well. Well, I can't wait to see you next time, skaters. I hope you get to skate and have a beautiful day. Peace out.